Hello, everyone. Billy back here with results and reactions from night one of WrestleMania. So last night they said it was the first time in 1 year, 1 day, and 1 month that fans were able to attend a show live, and it was WrestleMania last night. America the Beautiful was sung by BB Rexa, and she did a fantastic job. The roster and Miss McMahon were standing on the stage, and the McMahon family. Vince did his intro. You got America the Beautiful. The wrestlers got a little bit emotional, which understandable. Been a while since we've gotten to see live fans. So what happened here? Well, first of all, the 2 day deal is awesome because if you're gonna have a show go, say, more than 4 or 5 hours, then or say like one night's going to be 7 hours, like it was for 35, 6, 7 hours, counting the kickoff show, then I believe it should be split into 2 days. There were no kickoff show matches, which was awesome. That way, no one was, put down on the kickoff. Everybody got a spot on the main roster that competed last night, on the main show, I should say, and that was awesome to see. Um, there wasn't a bad match on this card. The show kicked off with a rain delay, which was actually interesting because they did some interviews and everything, kind of got the crowd pumped up. The crowd left temporarily. It came back. The rain delay was like, I want to say a half hour, so not too bad. And we've been waiting for over a year for this, so cool. We kicked off with Bobby Lashley, accompanied by MVP, defending the WWE Championship against Drew McIntyre. This match was hard hitting, as expected. Some submissions. Drew got the Kimura locked on it a couple of times. Drew went for a Claymore. MVP shouted, distracting Drew, and Lashley took advantage, and he won by technical submission from the Hurt Lock. Drew didn't actually tap, but he wasn't able to move or anything, so referee called it. This was a very good opener for the championship match, and I asked my buddy that watched it with me, Jack and Brian, I said, what are they going to do next? Because that was a good championship match. Next up, we had a tag team turmoil that saw Natalya and Tamina getting the win by last eliminating the Riot Squad. This was a very good tag match that didn't overstay its welcome. Usually I'm not a fan of these, but it was a turmoil gauntlet style, which was awesome because the action just kept going. It didn't feel thrown together. It felt like it was actually pretty well planned. Natalya and Tamina won, so that means they will get a championship opportunity tonight on night 2 against Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax, which should be a very good match. These are two veterans that have been underappreciated for far too long, so I'm very happy for both of them to be getting a chance here. The next matchup was Cesaro against Seth Rollins. We had a video package that showed how good Rollins was in discrediting Cesaro, and this match went back and forth. Cesaro hit record swing of, I believe it was 22 spins or something like that. It's crazy. And Cesaro gets the win. It didn't hurt Rollins because Rollins is already a star. This was Cesaro's first one-on-one WrestleMania match, and he picks up the win. Much needed win. I think this could potentially launch Cesaro to the next level, which would be awesome. So next up, we had AJ Styles and Omos against the New Day for the New Day's Raw Tag Team Championships, and they were smart, the New Day. They isolated AJ Styles. They goaded him into getting in the ring instead of Omos, and they cut the ring in half successfully for a long while. Finally, AJ got the tag to Omos, and as expected, they couldn't do anything to the guy. He's just so massive. So Omos and AJ pick up the win and get the tag team championships. And at this point in the show, the first two matches I called wrong, as I had predicted Drew and the Riot Squad, but then I started coming back with Cesaro and AJ and Omos, so I'm 2-2. Next matchup, we had Braun Strowman against Shane McMahon in a steel cage match. He got attacked early by Shane's cronies, and Shane had the early advantage. Braun fought back. Shane looked like he was about to escape, but instead of climbing out, he taunted Braun. Braun got up, grabbed his hand through the cage, tore the cage, pulled him back into the ring. At one point, Braun Strowman threw Shane off the top of the cage to the mat. Looked like one heck of a fall. He flipped whenever he landed. This was a really good match. Braun said he was winning for anyone who'd ever been bullied or called stupid. Nice little touch there. It was a good match. Braun gets the win, rightfully so. So this was a fun match that didn't overstay its welcome. So far, no bad matches. The only match I was a little bit skeptical of, which later would prove me wrong, I'll eat my words here, Bad Bunny and Damian Priest against The Miz and John Morrison. And I went to the bathroom real quick. I come back. I walk into the room. My two friends are watching. I see a bunch of people hopping around like bunnies. I walk back out of the room, and my friend Brian just started laughing. He was like, "Yeah, this is." I was like, "This is kind of stupid." But then, when everything was said and done, Damien came out at this point, and then Bad Bunny came out on a semi truck, which was really cool. The match was really good. At one point, um, Bad Bunny had some incredible offense. His punches looked good. He sold pretty well. No, he's not a veteran wrestler, but I'll give him credit where credit's due. He put the work in and really gave us a show. And for a lifelong wrestling fan who didn't have in-ring matches yet, he did really well here. He held his own, and they pick up the win as I called. So at this point, I was 4-2, and Bad Bunny hit the um, oh the flipping pile driver, which I know is called like the Canadian driver or something like that. But it was a really, and somebody will correct me. That's cool. I don't see the move a lot, so but yeah, that was really cool. And he hit it perfectly because Morrison didn't even come close to hitting his head, so he was able to do it safely. And this was a very solid matchup. I was very happy with it. Damian Bad Bunny win. Like I said, it wasn't too long of a match, which was good. And then we had main event. Sasha Banks defended the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship against the Women's Royal Rumble winner, Bianca Belair, who had to come out number 3 and last about an hour or so. And first of all, they made history. They were the first 2 women to have a one-on-one women's match at Main Event Mania. 2 black women, which was also history. But like JBL said, they were there because they earned the spot. They put the work in. Sasha helped carry WWE over the summer with Bayley, and it was a damn good matchup. It deserved the main event spot. It was awesome. They could have went another 10 minutes. I'd been fine with it. Back and forth they went. Sasha never got the backstabber. She went for the bank stain but didn't get fully locked in. Bianca at one point caught Banks after a crossbody was set up with her, and that was impressive. And then also Bianca took her braid, her long ponytail, and just nailed Banks, and Banks was bleeding from the side. So you know that hurt, and the sound it made was just brutal. So Sasha and Bianca had a back and forth matchup, and Bianca Belair goes over with the win against Sasha Banks, the main event, and Sasha didn't need the win as much as Bianca did. Bianca is a star, but she needed that win to kind of take her to the next level. So now she can say she's SmackDown Women's Champion, and the women's division's looking really strong with the addition of Rhea to Raw and her facing Asuka tonight. That's going to be a great match. And I think if Io were to come to SmackDown, that would also be a huge addition, change things up, get a few new fresh matchups going. It'll put some life into the women's division. They have good matches, but I think they just need a bigger roster to get more different matchups that we haven't seen before because, they struggle sometimes with keeping it fresh. So I think it could breathe some new life into the women's division. But that was night 1 of WrestleMania. I will be back tonight with reactions from night 2. The action starts at 7 p.m. Central Time. So tune in for that. And like I said, I like that the kickoff show was for people who haven't watched it or people just want to see a preview for the night's matches. There were no matches there. The show was not too long. Even with the rain delay, the show started at 7. The first match was at about 7:40, and the action ended, I want to say it was like 10:30 or so. So really, the time they got matches going, you're right at 3 hours, maybe a little bit over, so not too bad. And I wasn't tired after the show. And my buddy Jack brought the point they were going to bring their A game because it had been over a year since the last show with fans. I believe Elimination Chamber of 2020 was the last show with fans, and then they had to do everything without fans, but with zero fans in attendance. So it was really cool to see that. And like I said, I there wasn't a bad match on this card. I think we're going to look back at this Mania as one of the better ones, and I look forward to seeing what happens with the next show tonight. So that's all I got for you guys. Take care and stay safe.